This is Algebra 2, Lesson 2-3, linear functions and slope-intercept form. The slope is the measure of the steepness of a line, or the ratio of a vertical change to the horizontal change. It has an abbreviation of M. We talked about this before. It's M because the French word for slope is metière, and the Frenchman René Descartes is the one who came up with the Cartesian coordinate system, which is what slope is based on. A linear function is a function whose breadth is a line. Line. A linear equation is a linear function written in the form of an equation, like y equals 3x plus 2. That would be a linear function for a linear equation. The y-intercept is the point where a line crosses the y-axis. The x-intercept is the point where the line crosses the x-axis. Slope-intercept form is the form of an equation written in the form of y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Now, slope can be determined by the following equation. The slope of a non-vertical line for the points x of 1, y sub 1, x of 2, y sub 2, which is just x of 1 means the x value of the first point, x of 2 means the x value of the second point. It's the ratio of the vertical change to the corresponding horizontal change, otherwise known as rise over run. So, you can do y sub 2 minus y sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1, or you could do y sub 1 minus y sub 2 divided by x sub 1 minus x sub 2. As long as y is on the top, y has to be on the top of the equation, otherwise it doesn't work. And x sub 2 minus x sub 1 cannot be 0 because that would be a vertical line. Alright, so if we needed to find the slope between a given set of points, we just simply apply the slope formula. We've done this before in both algebra and geometry. I like to write my points vertically because it's easier to line up the values that way, and I don't confuse my x values and my y values. Slope is my change in y, so in this case I'm going to do 2 minus a minus 5, watch your negative signs, divided by, subtract your x values, negative 10 minus 4. 2 minus a minus 5, this is 7. 10 minus 4 is negative 14, so the slope of this line is negative 1/2. You always reduce the slope for lowest terms, but you never change it to a mixed number. The slope of the second point here, if I was to write these vertically, my slope will be my change in y, negative 1 minus a negative 1 over 6 minus 5. Negative 1 minus a minus 1 is the same thing as saying negative 1 plus 1, so that becomes 0. 6 minus 5 is 1. Whenever 0 is on the top of a fraction, the answer is 0, so the slope of this line is simply 0. In other words, it's a horizontal line. All horizontal lines have a slope of 0. This last point here, negative 2, 5, and negative 2, negative 3, if we were to do the slope here, change in y, 5 minus a minus 3, or 5 plus 3, negative 2 minus a minus 2. So if we keep change, this becomes a plus, this becomes a plus. 5 plus 3 equals 8. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. A 0 in the denominator is undefined, which means our slope is also undefined, because a bit by 0 is undefined. Anytime a line has an undefined slope, it is a vertical line. Okay. Vertical lines have an undefined slope, horizontal lines have a slope of 0. You cannot say no slope, because no slopes to some people means 0, and no slope to other people means undefined, so it's very confusing. So you either have to use a slope of 0 or an undefined slope. Now, we can write the equation of a line given the slope and the y-intercept, or given 2 points. Okay. Let's say, what is the equation of each line? The slope of negative 3 and the y-intercept of 0, 5. Remember, the equation is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Okay. So this is the x value of the y-intercept, this is the y value of the y-intercept, so this right here, 5, is b. So if I stick it in the equation, y equals mx plus b, y will equal negative 3x plus 5. It's as simple as that for that equation. For the next one, write the equation where n is 1/5 and the y-intercept is 0, -3. Again, same thing. This is my b value right here. This is my m value right there. So y equals mx, 1/5 x, plus b. So plus a -3 is just -3. So there's the equation there. So if you're given the slope and the y-intercept, it's very easy to write an equation. A linear equation can be written in slope-intercept form, if it's not already written in slope-intercept form, by solving for y. So we have the following equations. 2x plus 3y minus 15 equals 0. If I need to solve this so that I can find the slope and the y-intercept, I need to solve it for y. So I need to subtract 2x, and I need to add 15. So I need to move both of these to the other side of the equation, and when you do that, their signs change. So I now have 3y equals -2x plus 15. Because moving them from one side of the equation to the other changes their sign. Now I need to solve this for y, so I need to divide everything by 3. So y equals -2/3 x plus 5. So it's now written in y equals form. So I can easily tell my slope and my intercept. My slope is whatever comes in front of x, which in this case is -2/3. My y-intercept is whatever comes after x, which in this case is 5. And the slope is -2/3. The y-intercept is 5, and my equation is y equals -2/3 x plus 5. This next problem, do the same thing, solve it for y. So I'm going to add 3x, and we're going to move it to the other side of the equation. So I have 12 plus 3x equals 10y, or for those of you who like the 10y to come first, 10y equals 3x plus 12. Now to solve it for y, I divide everything by 10. So y equals 3/10 x plus, I could say 12/10, or I can change that to an improper fraction, or I can change it to a reduced improper fraction, or I can change it to a mixed number. I'm just going to change it to a reduced improper fraction, which would be 6/5. So my slope is 3/10, and my y-intercept is 6/5. Now, to graph linear equations, there's many ways to graph linear equations. The easiest way to graph a linear equation is to put it in y equals form. Once you have it in y equals form, it is very easy to graph because you can graph it using slope-intercept. And probably the easiest way to do it. So if I was to have the equation 24 equals 4x minus 3y, first thing I'm going to do is get it in the y equals form. So I have I'm going to move this -4x over here. So I'm going to have -3y equals -4x plus 24. I divide everything by 3, which I'm going to do down below because it's easier to see. -3y equals -4x plus 24 divided everything by -3. So that I get the equation y equals negative divided by negative is a positive 4/3 x. And 24 divided by -3 is -8. See? So my slope is 4/3. Slope is 4/3. And my y-intercept is -8. So the first thing I'm going to graph is my y-intercept. So that's where it crosses the y-axis. So I'll start at 0 and go down 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I will apply my slope, which if you remember is rise over run. So if my slope is 4/3, I will go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, to the right 3, 1, 2, 3. Plot that point, go up 4 more, 1, 2, 3, 4, to the right 3, 1, 2, 3. If your slope is positive, you go up to the right. If your slope is negative, you go down to the right. Let's see here. So graph my point. Perfect. Points as carefully as possible. You use a ruler. I can't use a ruler on my smartboard. So I have to keep it in here. And then label your equation. Always, always, always label. So y equals 4/3 x minus 8. And there you go. For the second equation, same thing. I need to solve it for y first. So I have -7y equals -4x plus 14. Divide everything by -7. y equals positive 4/7 x minus 2. So again, label your x and y axis always. Start at your origin, go down 2, because you always do the y-intercept first. My slope is 4/7, so I will go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the right 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Graph my point. Yes. Thanks. Make sure you label it. So my last thing to do is label my equation. Y equals 4/7 x minus 2. So that is using linear functions and slope intercept.